Welcome to my journey through the Bible. This will be applications that you can apply to your life and a little more in depth about the chapter. We are in Judges 1, verses 1 through 36. And we see that God had given the promised land to the Israelites. God was with them. They were able to conquer many of their enemies, many of the Canaanites, but not all of them. With God's strength, the Israelites were able to weaken many of the cities, but their work was not done. Once the land was divided among all of the tribes, they were to continue to clear out the land that was divided and given to them. So each tribe had to continue to clear out their lands. Now, the Canaanites had many cities, and each city had its own king, its own government. And the Israelites had been fighting for a very long time, and they had become tired. They lost sight of their goal. They lacked discipline and the energy to reach their final goal. Israel was afraid of the iron chariots. They felt like the speed of the chariot would be no match to their foot soldiers. And of course, this fear does make sense. It's understandable. But they lost sight of who was really fighting this battle for them. God was with them. God was going to fight for them. God was going to give them their strength. And no chariot would have been able to stand against God's hand. So they had forgotten that God was the one that had the power. They were looking to their own strength. And of course, when they looked to their own strength, they were no match for the Canaanites. But under this pressure, they compromised their faith. And I would say in our life today, we have times when life gets really rough, very difficult for us. And of course, in our human effort alone, we will not be able to handle it. But with God's help, we will be able to resist any temptations, any difficulties in life. But the goal is we have to remember God in the midst of our struggles, in the midst of all of our difficult situations. God gives us instructions and guidelines in order to make these difficult situations. And it's easy to start off really strong, and then we begin to get sidetracked. Maybe because of fear, maybe because we're tired of fighting the same battle and feeling like we're not getting anywhere. Maybe it's a lack of discipline, or we have no energy left. And then, of course, we start to maybe even pursue our own interest. And then as a result, we begin to fade away in what we believe. And each person begins to do what they feel is right in their own eyes. Now, if our faith is going to survive, we have to be reading God's Word. We have to be reading the Bible. We have to apply those lessons and the principles to our everyday living. And then we need to stay strong. We need to stay focused on the real purpose of our life, and that is to love God and to live for Him, to bring others to know who God is. And then When we focus on God and not our own strength, we will win every battle that we face. May God be with you in everything and in every way.